So I just moved from San Antonio, Texas to Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's so different. It's not different in a bad way. Um, it's just different because I am 1,200 miles away from home. I'm 1,200 miles away from my family and my friends. And this was a complete faith move. This is something that I fasted and I prayed about for a long time, especially during the summer. I was just going through a lot of issues at home and just in my personal life, and it was very difficult for me. And I just was fasting and praying to God and asking Him for a way out. And um, I remember I went on a 3-day Esther fast, and on the second day, if you've ever fasted before or have ever done an Esther fast, you're just drinking water when you're hungry, or just drinking water like every so often, but no food, no nothing for 3 days. And on the second day, I just remember being so tested and tried and emotional and getting down on my knees in literally the fetal position, just crying and begging God like to just make a way out. And my car was in the shop at that time. I had got into an accident the month prior on Labor Day, and I was just so sick of lifing. And I knew that, especially because our word says that we're going to be tried and we are going to be tested and we're going to put through refining fire. And in this moment in the summer, like, it was just me going through that fire, and I know that God was still with me in there. So I just fasted and I prayed and I asked God just to make a way out, and it's so crazy because my fast finished the next day, and the following day after that, corporate comes into my job and tells us, we're phasing out your department. You could either move to a new position and stay here in San Antonio, or you can move to Florida or Charlotte, North Carolina, which will eventually transfer to Fort Mill, South Carolina, and we'll make a way for you to go. We'll relocate you. And at first I tried applying for jobs in San Antonio, and it was like all the doors were closing. Like, I tried staying there. I applied for different positions within the company, even positions that I had went to or that I had worked in prior with the company, and they just weren't working out. Like, all the doors were shut. I applied at apartments for some reason or another, which was very weird. It just wouldn't go through. And it was like frustrating because I was like, man, God, like, I just want better already. Like, I'm just tired of going through it. And it was really, really hard. And I didn't realize in that moment, like, He had opened that door that I had prayed about to leave. So just by faith, I prayed on it, and I was like, you know what, God, I'm just going to pray. I'm just going to apply. I'm just going to apply for that job in North Carolina, and I'm just going to go. Like, I've never left. Like, I've left San Antonio. I've gone on vacations and stuff, but I've never left home. And it's like every door was opening to go and start new. Every single door was opening, They paid for my relocation. It was so easy for me to get an apartment, like, right away. My car was fixed. Just everything that could go right to leave was, and it was just so hard because, I have a daughter, and I didn't want her to leave our family and her friends, and I also knew inside of my spirit that, like, I needed to get out of San Antonio. I loved it, and I loved my family, and I loved my friends. There was just so much going on, and there is still a lot of things that I'm dealing with back home that are just holding me back. And something that God has really just like that he keeps emphasizing to me is just, like a prophet is not accepted in their hometown. And I've dealt with so much opposition, my whole life basically, like, and it's been very hard because it's usually opposition from people that I love, and it's just been really hard. But now I'm here, and I'm sorry, like, I'm getting really vulnerable and stuff, but I really don't have anybody here to talk to. And I'm here, and I've been a little anxious. I've been a little scared just going into this new season, but I knew that God got me here safely, and he's given me so many confirmations. It was a 19-hour drive. It was really long. I got here safely. Me and my daughter are safe. My mom came with me. She flies home tomorrow. And I just don't know what God has in store, but it wouldn't be faith if I knew the bigger picture and just came. But I feel like my faith is in me just coming and not knowing, just knowing that where God guides, he provides. And I don't know, it's just very hard. I've always been like the person that everybody comes to, and now I'm gone, and like it's just different. But I know, like, God has gotten me through so many things in my life, and that he's gonna get me through this too. I don't know. I just wanted it to be a testimony of, and it's not always gonna look amazing, and it's not always gonna feel good walking by faith, but I know God's got me, and I know he got me and my daughter, and I don't know what Charlotte has in store for me, but I just can't wait to see what God has planned. And if anybody knows any good churches here in Charlotte, please let me know, because I do need to find a faith family out here. But yeah, I just want to give God all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise, because he really made a way. And prayer and petition and fasting works. It's just scary sometimes, but obedience does not always look pretty, but it's worth it, and we'll see what he has in store.